almost caught up. I was thinking about it. Or we're gonna side with Ron. So we're gonna do the veterans. Sorry, then it's decided. No matter what our new quartermasters are like, there's no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The result will be reported to you, and if anything else comes up, we will call the council right away. Manage Crusaders' affairs. I do actually like this part of the game quite a bit. So this is one of my favorite things. About this stuff. I just need to find it, rank up, Bastion, Army, Command, Relic, Other. So we have everything there. Oh yeah, I forgot we can build cities. We'll stick with a garrison thing for now. I can go down to the map and take a look. I doubt anybody will make a beeline here trying to cut me off in Canabras. Or, I forgot there's one enemy there, but nothing too important. The morale is failing, so I have to move. Giants don't look that tough, so hopefully we'll be fine here. Oh, okay. So I will just start letting enemies flee then. I didn't realize that that's what it did. I don't know why my morale is critical. It should be going up. I'm winning battles. Yeah, we're still not doing that one. Fuck that one. Alright, we're not ready for that. Then we'll just call that one. And that city builder is fine. And well, we're not fucking throwing that royal parade yet. When is it? Okay, good. Well, I can fuck off then. Alright. Alright, let's see what he did. Commander, I have some information. Though what I found out is mostly an incident. It might be a concern. Concern, what do you mean? About the well-being of one of your companions. Tell me. Soldiers have been gathering in the graveyard to play cards. We usually turn a blind to such things, though it's against regulations. We let them enjoy themselves as long as they don't cause too much trouble. And that's usually the case. But recently, people have noticed soul among them, and the gambling seems to be having an unhealthy effect on them. As you know, I usually keep my nose out of other people's private affairs. With all the spies and cultists, I have too much on my plate as is. But this time, it's about someone you trust with your life. So maybe you should do something about it. This isn't an official report, just a tip-off from a friend. Thank you for the information. The overwhelming fragrance of rose hits you as soon as you enter the headquarters. Roses occupy every inch of available space, fresh and sweet smelling, as if they have come into bloom. The scene is capped off by Darren, who stands in the center of the rosin. Ah, Lady Victoria, it's so good to drop by. As you can see, I've been working on a little something, and I'm afraid some of your advisors are less than happy about it. Sure, if by a little something you mean an entire shipment of freshly cut roses teleported here from some southern country. You could have outfitted an entire unit with the money you spent on this. Fortunately, they were my own personal funds, so I spent them as I saw fit. This gloomy citadel needed some injection of beauty. There's none of my business, of course, but I've known you for some time. This thing looks like another scandalous stunt concocted to rile up the Crusaders. If you want to pay court the commander, don't do it in headquarters. Do you have something to say to that, Dane? Tracking misunderstanding has occurred. Darren pauses while continuing to cast a delightful glance over his roses. I had no intention of courting the commander. Courting the commander in a romantic sense. Never even crossed my mind. I do not know what led you to such farcical conclusion. According to recent research conducted by the scent of roses reduces stress and fatigue, refreshes one's thoughts, and stimulates intellectual activity. So I only had the good crusade in mind. My places. My actions were selfless entirely. Couldn't care less. Oh, oof. The cut to direct. But that only makes things more interesting. I do believe my work here is done. Till next time, Lady Victoria. Alright, so my journals. I have to actually take a look at them again. We need Demon Heresy, go to Green Gates. I've issued that. Find the Missing Crusaders, talk to Aniva.
Everything has a price.
Let's imagine just for a moment something completely hypothetical. A dragon you definitely don't know went and made a hole in the roof of one of the temples of Modia. How would you react? This dragon should warn me before it flies off to carry out its evil plans. I'd be happy to supply an alibi and a hearty congratulations. Guess what? You're not just my best friend, you're my best accomplice now. Alright, so where did you come from and why did you decide to help me? You're my bestest friend. How could I not? As for coming here, I just sensed your power and flew all the way to you. I mean, I can usually fly between planes by myself, but your power was like a guiding light, so I just flew. What do you think about my companions? Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I like Areshil the best. She's so cute, and she has wings too. They make her twice as cute. See, Aviva gets it. Ember's kind, but I'm a little scared of her. And don't tell anyone this. I almost got into a fight with that crow of hers. I like Lon, but he's really, really sad, even when he's making jokes. Rather, he's a bit more sad when he's making jokes. It's all the wrong way around. I don't understand him. Regal, boo. Let's kick him out. Pretty please. Zosil always smiles at me, but he won't paint me properly. I keep telling him to add an extra tail, a fluffy one, and make my claws fluffy. And maybe add a golden little plume that glows. But he just says I don't look like that in real life. Who cares about real life when you can imagine so much better? Tila, I kind of like her, but I kind of don't. She always treats me like I'm just some little swoopy. I mean, I know I'm little, but I'm still a dragon. Camilla is beautiful, but her spirit doesn't seem to want to talk to me for some reason. Guess it's just too shy. Darren is mean. He doesn't think I'm even a little bit cute. I'm sure of it. How can you speak to someone who doesn't love a cute little dragon like me? A bit scared of me, no? She's already tried to catch me 3 times. She said she wanted to measure me with a ruler or something and attach a clothespin to my wing. It sure was annoying. I like the Erebeth, but only from a distance. I don't want to be too friendly with her. I mean, she's probably start making some scary faces and stamping her feet if I scattered peas where the paladins go to pray, to make them slip and flail their arms around, trying to stay standing. That would be so funny. Neva probably wouldn't yell at me, but she'd probably catch me before I even poured the peas. I am friends with your entire court, especially Aranaka, Wallflower, and Ilks. But you probably know that already. Aren't you scared of battling demons? Not even a little bit. After all, I have you by my side. By the way, next time we meet any demons, we should ask them if they're scared to fight us. You are adorable.
Always watch your back.
Do not change. Okay. Now with that, I'm going to go to the outside. Shit. Oh, man, we got so many places to go. Oh, wait, actually.
My way.
I guess I should talk to Neva about her report first. Neva, have you figured out how the demons have been sneaking up on us? No dice. Our scouts crawled all over the air, down every hole. Nothing. The gray road was completely empty, and then bam, a whole army popped up like a jack in the box. My only lead is a few scouts who didn't come back from the gorges to the southwest. But we found no sign of secret paths or underground passageways, and definitely no route we can use quietly to move a large force through. But I feel it in my gut. There's some evil scum out there. We just have to look harder. Of course, I could send out more scouts, but they might just disappear like the first ones. Why don't you go there yourself and find out what's what? I'd like to give that rat Nura a good shake. How long was she serving the demons, I wonder? I bet good silver If I turned her upside down and shook her as hard as I could, something interesting would fall out, not just lice. I have to go. Interrogate her. Yeah, you know, I probably should. Alright, this is the dragon hunt. Night gamblers. I'm gonna actually go here because I gotta talk to some of my companions as is. Oh, that's some, I mean. I wanna talk to
I always have the upper
Arashla.
hand. That's easy. Stay on your toes.
This is going to be
Precisely.
the worst part, is running around here with all this stuff to do. So we've got several points of interest, and since they don't label them, I don't know. Okay, so we have... Okay, we have that. Don't really
Always watch your back.
care for that. That's just a noble. Jewelry trader. Braces of armor +5. That's interesting.
I will not be trifled with.
You are Arcane Weaver. Okay, okay. So we have Gloves of the Ambassador. Gloves of Dueling. Robe of Order. Okay, so what we're going to do is... There we go. Everything else is just scrolls. Looks like it. Well, it's a good thing to kind of just take note of everything. Hopefully Ember can use that.
Everything has a price.
We're not really going to do anything yet.
Careful now.
Exotic weapons provider. Okay, actually, first things first.
Hesitation is a waste of time. That's easy.
Do you have anything new? Oh, it doesn't look like
I
it.
always have the upper hand. Precisely.
What about you?
I do things my way.
Alrighty.
Always watch your back.
Alright, let's see what Sheila says. Okay. Sheila hasn't said isn't gonna say anything new. Most of these people probably won't. I'm assuming that when they want to talk to me, they'll actually like come talk to me. I should actually talk to because I haven't talked to her. Arusha's Ruby eyes stare watchfully at passers-by who don't notice her even at arm's length. She turns to you, her face a mixture of contemplation, sadness, and emotion. They're amazing, aren't they? She already told me about that. What are you doing here? I am watching. She nods at the city dwellers as they hurry past. I'm listening to their conversations, studying their face. I'm trying to understand what they truly are. Don't you think you're being a little creepy? Really? The succubus blinked, surprised. Really, why? I don't mean any harm. Why do you like to watch people? You know, in my old life, I thought I knew everything about them. I was the master of seduction, after all. I knew how to tempt a mortal into doing anything I required. I could trap them in a lie, or lie myself, and never get caught. It's disgusting to remember. But that was my life for many centuries. Now I see I knew nothing. A demon warrior probably also considers himself an expert on mortals because he's killed so many of them. He certainly knows where to thrust the spear for a quick death and where to thrust it for a long, painful one. I think that's enough. My knowledge, it was of the same kind. I ruined many mortals without learning the first thing about them. Now I watch them to understand them. This won't give my victims back their lives, of course, but still, by growing closer to these mortals, it's like I'm paying back some part of my debt to my victims' memories. Have you learned anything new about mortals? They love cats. Ursula speaks in a very serious manner, as if sharing an important scientific discovery with you. Then a moment later, she smiles to give the joke away. Seriously, have your observations of humans led to anything? I wouldn't want to draw any rash conclusions. I've only been watching them for a short while, but I think I have understood one thing. The succubi have a saying, mortals always lie. If a mortal isn't talking, it means she's busy lying to herself. But now I see this isn't true. You mortals aren't liars, you're dreamers. Each of you creates a huge daydream for yourself, and everyone you share your life with isn't exactly a lie, because a daydream is your truth. I see. Let me ask you another question. Tell me about yourself. I'm afraid you won't like what I'm going to tell you. Where do succubi come from? Did you have a childhood? No, well, yes, but in brief, the abyss is nothing like the mortal world. Ursula makes a gesture in the air, trying to find the right words. You remember life since conception. No, wait. You don't remember that, do you? But certainly you know everything since birth. We do not. Normally, when a human dies, the Lady of the Glades decides which plane they go to. Most often, those who arrive in the abyss turn into larvae. You know, the little worms no one notices until you step on them. They crawl in the mud for centuries, devouring each other. And the strongest ones turn into demons. I don't know how the transformation happens. Maybe we hatch of something like caterpillars, of butterflies. No way, it's the other way around. Or maybe greater demons sculpt us out of them, like so much clay. I don't know what happened to the larva that they used to make me in my own memory. It begins with vague, fragmented images. Terrors, executions, orgies. I remember some poor lad, half gnawed by the larva. He was crying and begging to be killed. And I pointed at him and laughed, and said I wouldn't. Desna, forgive me. I was so ashamed. How did you end up turning against the abyss? Temptation. Ursula smiles sadly. Strange, isn't it? So many people believe that being good is important, but it's boring and unpleasant. But all that's enjoyable and tempting pertains to evil. Even the servants of kind gods often think so, do they not? You have no idea how easy that makes the role of temptress, when it was a great fortune to discover that's not always like that. Ursula looks away. Last victim was a priestess of Desna, the tender of dreams. As you know, demons do not sleep. Mortals always compare their greatest moments to dreams, so I decided it would be interesting to see for myself. While I was at it, forgive me, goddess, to mock Desna. This priestess lay in my arms, dying of my kiss. I remember every small detail, the cold sweat on her skin, her eyes rolled back into her head, her weak whisper. It's so difficult to recount. Well, I dove into her mind to see what mortal dreams were like, but the goddess saw me in her realm, and it turned out I remained there far longer than I planned. What did Desna do to you? As a punishment, she gave me mercy. I often think, why me? She could have easily blown me away like smoke with a flick of her fingers. The gods rarely trouble themselves with the lives of mortals, even less so with demons. For some reason of her own, she paid me special attention. She woke in the memories of the sinners whose souls were used to grant me. All those humans, I knew nothing of them until Desna showed me. Each of them had their own dreams, and a world without pity trampled each of them, and placed them on a path that led them to abyss. Their memories, all their hopes and pains. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to talk about this. You see tears well up in the succubus's eyes. Ursula wipes away her tears and continues. The most important thing I realized was that every mortal is a little world of hopes and dreams. That although I might be a succubus, I didn't have to live forever with those beastly, boring pleasures and tortures of the abyss. I can be free. I can be myself. If only I can understand who I am. You don't know who you are? What of you? Do you know who you are? Are there many mortals who can make that claim? Before returning me to the mortal realm, Desna whispered something to me. I conceal her words. She asked, "And what do you dream of?" And I don't know. I still don't. You see, demons are simple creatures. Ursula purses her lips. Each is guided by 2 or 3 strong sins. Before my conversion, my sins were all I was, a ball of desire without anyone behind them doing the desiring. Desires for sex, for flattery, and food. But now I have me, and it's amazing, but it's so complicated. Ursula makes an apologetic gesture and smiles. What did you do after it? I traveled in the beginning, and I thought it'd be wise to keep away from demons and their temptations, run off to Asylum, or perhaps even further, to another plane. Then I realized that I didn't deserve freedom yet. The abyss was still in me. It called to me, tempting me, seducing me. If I ran away, I would soon return to my old habits. Ursula forces the word from her mouth. That is why I came here, to join the war, to remember who my enemy is, to defeat the demons, not just for the mortal world, but for myself as well. Because if I don't kill my past, it will always be reaching for me. I'm a wonderful liar. I'm no longer proud of it, but it's still true. The demons never suspected my treason until the very end. I lived as a spy and regularly reported back to the priests of Desna. Whatever I learned. Naturally, I concealed my identity from them as well. I would never have been caught, but when I learned that this guy was planning to attack cannibals, there was no time for question. I risked everything to warn you, and paid with my freedom. Thank you for not running from evil, but confronting it. Yes, I'm glad I did, but, it's hard. Evil calls me back, every day, and when it's so close, what if one day I grow tired of fighting? So do you worship Desna now? Goddess did a lot for me, more than I ever deserved. Asking anything more for her would be impudent. I'm grateful to her, but I try not to trouble her with my prayers. Thank you for your answers. I am curious. The kind of question a mortal might ask a succubus. You want to talk about sex. Ursula looks you in the eyes. Ask me anything. I'll not keep secrets from you. Don't expect to hear anything light-hearted or pleasant. The kiss of a succubus is deadly, isn't it? Not just the kiss. Any caress of any kind sucks the life from mortals, and there's nothing I can do about it. Ursula touches her lips ever so slightly. For mortals, tenderness is tenderness, and violence is violence. But I don't know what it's like to kiss and not inflict pain. I just hope my observations of mortals will help me understand. Young lovers, old spouses, even what mortals condemn as promiscuity, to me, all looks like something amazingly human. A drop of vital energy. Don't joke like that. To me, it's not a joke. I'm sorry, it wasn't meant to upset you. Never mind, just try not to tempt me. It's hard for me to control myself. Wait, you mean you don't just watch people during the day out in the streets? Well, I never touch on her. I never harm her. I just watch and listen. Is that bad? Fuck it. No, it's not bad. Just don't. Actually, you must respect people's... I don't know. Yeah. Please restrict yourselves to observing people in public. Why not? Work with it. I can promise you that. The succubus smiles. What is sex like between demons? What is sex between demons like? Everything's demons do is sort of a cannibalism. Each devours mortals and other demons in their own ways. Some enjoy literally tearing off pieces of flesh with their teeth. Others like to subdue and turn their prey into slaves and living tools. Some feed off feed on others' humiliations. It comes in different forms, but the essence is always the same. Another being is an object to be used for your own pleasure. Demon sex doesn't differ from any other type of violence. In my former life, it was something I did to others or others did to me. Only one person ever received pleasure, not the other. Do you still feel desire? Ursula keeps a long silence and searches for you see, on the one hand, my succubus nature remains with me. I feel the desire I feel is the one for my old life. When I look at any mortal, I immediately imagine how she looks away. But that feeling, that desire, is not what mortals feel. When you like someone, you ponder how good it would be to... When you like somebody, you don't ponder how good it would feel to drink their soul, do you? Do you think about how good it would feel to be together? Together, you see, you know how to want somebody and at the same time not want to destroy them. For me, it's always one and the same. True despair rings in Areshala's voice. I'm not even talking about love, just the common mutual affection mortals when they're not poisoned with violence. Now I know that I've never felt it. It's hard to imagine how it's even possible. I feel so bad for you. Oh, guess. Thank you for being so open. Areshla nods without saying a word. Tell me about life in the abyss. I can't tell you about all of the abyss, but I can tell you... I've only seen a small part. If you like, I can tell you about Midnight Isles and other shows. Isn't that... I think that's one of the DLCs, so... Tell me about the Midnight Isles. In the ocean of Ishir, not far from the mouth of the River Styx, there is a chain of islands. This is the realm of Nocticula, the queen of the suns. There's no sun there, only moonlight and alternating with a moonless one. Each of the islands is one of Nocticula's trophies, the remains of a powerful entity that perished at her hands. As you see, you cannot take a step in the abyss without treading on a corpse. Tell me about Alishnaria. The Profiery city is Nocticula's castle. There is no city like it in the mortal world. Absalon is a village consisting of millions. I don't exaggerate. Millions of demons live there. Some come voluntarily, not only from Gloria, but from other planes as well. Nocticula keeps an open boundary and enjoys having many guests, merchants, and travelers in the city. Some arrive in chains. The slave trade is the most thriving business in the city. From far away, the city may seem merry. Many of its dwellers do enjoy themselves, till it's their turn to become someone else's toy. It's a city of suffering, Lady Victoria. Of cheerful, festive torments that everyone in the city inflicts on those around them. What are some places of interests? The heart of the business quarter is the flesh markets, where the slave trade takes place. I grew up in the mansion of Lady Valexia. Her house is always full of guests doing their best to entertain her. Those whose performance is not to her liking risk remaining at her house forever. The main attraction of the Succubi city is, of course, the brothels. The 10,000 delights. I need not tell you what they offer if you can imagine it. Someone selling it. Not far from there you can find the Dreams, which serves as sort of a city hall. Shamir, Nocticula's right hand and mayor of Ocean, receives her visitors there. Those for bloodier sports, there are many arenas in the city. The most famous of them is Battles. Battles run continuously, without breaks, and without rules. It doesn't matter what trickery you swing. It only matters how much fun the crowd is having. And above all is the House of Silken Shadow, Nocticula's palace. Hundreds, thousands of towers, domes adorned with jewels. There are legends of what happens inside. Many have striven to experience the delights of the Succubi Queen's palace, forgetting that it was built for her pleasure, not theirs. Tell me about Nocticula. She's called the Lady in Shadow. They say that she was the first succubus. She's far from the most powerful of the demon lords, but this hasn't kept her from being the ruin of many creatures significantly more powerful than herself, even building her kingdom upon their bones. They say that, like Lamashuta, she strives to turn herself from a demon lord into a true goddess. She enjoys killing, but her favorite tools are seduction and deception. She only stoops to crude violence when there are no other games to play, and even then she backstabs from the shadow. Her favorite weapon is a crossbow, though a silk garrote would suit her better. If you should ever meet her, do not believe a word she says, and do not fall for her provocations. Do not try to beat her at her own game, and most importantly, remember, the worst mistake anyone can make is to underestimate her. Thanks for the information. What do you think of the powers I gave you? It's a great temptation. I don't know if I should be trusted with such power. I certainly wouldn't trust myself with it. When you have so much power, it's easy to decide you're God, and mortals are your toys. Perhaps I should wait until after we defeat the forces of this. But that's precisely what these powers are for. She thinks for a moment and looks at it. You take a great risk. I'm not sure I can handle the temptation. It's hard as it is. I have to go. I will be watching you. Okay, now we're gonna go find Sosul. We gotta go yell at Sosul.
That's easy.
Sosul's clearly taking the news of his brother pretty hard, so I'm gonna go yell at him.
Precisely.
Honestly, so much. Noble.
Always watch your back.
Come on. I'll also see if Ember has anything to say. I doubt she has anything to say, but we'll take a look. Ember. Okay, yep. She doesn't have anything to say. Dear sweet Ember. Good afternoon, Commander. How can I help you? I've heard you've been rather busy playing cards at night. Cards? Me? Zozo looks away in embarrassment. Who could possibly think? I've only visited the games once or twice to get a sense of what our soldiers do when they're off duty. You think I'm addicted to gambling? Nothing of the sort. Don't worry. I'm absolutely fine. Zozo, you're a dirty fucking liar.
I will not be trifled with.
I'm willing to bet it. But I need to... I don't know what I need to prove that you're a dirty fucking liar.
Everything has a price.
I don't know what the fuck has happened. Oh. Actually, thank you. That's actually very important. Perfect.
Careful now.
I guess we'll go manage my kingdom's affairs. Somebody sent me something. Oh, look. Abathan. At this moment, it's an Abathan typing. I haven't been able to start your last playthroughs. What a loser. And now you'll watch this video and you'll remember that. Honestly though, like I said, depending on myth, if that's actually true, that's gonna be really cool.
That's easy.
I don't like that.
Hesitation
I
is a
talked
waste
to him
of
and he
time.
hasn't said anything.
Precisely.
So I wish there's a way to speed this up. But we got plenty of
Always watch your
missions we
back.
gotta do, so I guess doesn't matter. We can always come back and try to talk to him. Because he hasn't said anything about it. Or he said something about it and then just kind of brushed it off. Although...
I always have the upper hand. I take from the rich and take from the poor. It's my way of supporting equality.
I'll just go through this.
I will not be trifled with. Everything has a price. I do things my
No.
way.
One of these days I'll learn not to do that. One of these days. But I don't think today is that day.
Stay on your toes.
Ah, but you see I didn't do it that time, so we're learning.
Hesitation is a waste of time.
See, we're learning. It's weird that vampires are considered mortal beings in this game.
I always have the upper hand.
Oh, look at that.
Everything has a price.
Did the entire thing. Does this one have anything to fucking say that today?
Stay on your toes.
Okay, I guess not. Oh, you know what? Let's save. That was annoying.
I do things my way. That's easy.
I'm taking Solstice is not gonna.
Precisely.
Looks like I can't do anything about it right now. Now I could go and fight that try to find that dragon to fight it, but I'm not going to because it's a dragon and
Always watch
dragons
your
are
back.
scary. So we're not gonna fight a dragon right now. We're just gonna leave.
not be trifled with. I always have the upper hand. Everything has a price. Careful now.
We'll put you.
Stay on your toes.
Honestly, we might even put adamantine plate on you. Okay. Oh, okay. That's her. Yes, look at the butterflies. Hello. There's. No, I'm way more interesting than a butterfly. It was me who asked Lady Victoria to come here. Anyway, who's a good little dragon? Aviva's a good little dragon. Suddenly, she just stops and steps behind you. She looks rather embarrassed. I know who they are. But what if they... I'm a demon and... You see your old friend and three dozen adepts from Canabras standing at the head of the crowd. Lady Victoria, finally. We rushed here as soon as we heard what happened in Dresden. We brought friends too, except we've only just met some of them. Oh hey, so you mean some of these are going to be cultists? Allow me to introduce them. Matrix Ola de Vera, illustrious exiled alchemist. Those formidable warriors are halflings from the temple of Trilida Zutan, the goddess of battle and recklessness. This is the famous street artist, Avon Turin, a pseudonym of course. So this is Matt. Where is the administrative building in Evison that escaped his brush. And there in front, we have our mounted gnomish contingent, the cavalry sculptors. We have all come here to help you fight the forces of the abyss. Why was Ola exiled? Prejudiced. That's why. The disheveled woman shakes her head in disdain. Her clothes look as though they've been singed a dozen times over and dragged through various paints at least a dozen times over. For some reason, people are suspicious of alchemists who worship Caden Callian. They also consider my experiments dangerous, which is utterly preposterous. For one, science comes at a price, after all. And besides, it wasn't I who caused the explosion back in Absalom and it raised half a block. I mean, I wasn't even there. Still, now that I'm surrounded by people, I'll be able to unleash my talents and show those demons that bombs can protect us as well as any prayers. What are the goddess Shodan and her worshippers famous for? Shodan is the goddess of mischief, battle, and luck, a close friend of Desna, the Moon Mother. Not the goddess of strategic planning, put it that way. As her worshippers, we charge headlong into battle, leading others into the fray, and we despise evil in all forms. My friends and I have long wanted to support the Crusades. This is the first time we've seen a leader we're willing to follow. An artist on a crusade? A street artist to boot? Dusty galleries and pompous patrons aren't quite my scene, is Maestro Evans' dignified response. I only paint in places where everyone can see my work and appreciate its special meaning. I used to paint flowers and the sun on the walls of besieged forts to make the attacking army realize they were destroying another's peace and joy. I once dedicated the Acts of Amodia in painting in the middle of the Jehalkan capital, not because I worship her, rather to remind the people of Trellix that it is proud, tyrant, toppling goddess was born here. I don't yet know that what I will create in the world mound, but I feel I must play some part in the salvation of this land. Cavalry sculptors? Exactly. One gnome sitting in a saddle grins happily, looking at from head to toe a brigand. Cavalry sculptors are an ancient and revered gnomish society. In certain circles, that is. Our only rival are the Pikmin confectors. But they don't have a noble legend that tells of the creation of their society, unlike us. According to this legend, a brave gnome knight once participated in battle that lasted many days. He had to ride into battle down one and the same path, past one and the same boulder. Soon he was fed up with it. He started to chip off a piece of the boulder each time he strode past it, eventually carving it into a giant apple. The little game turned out to be so captivating that soon the knight's entire squad began to do the same, and then the enemy joined in. It goes without saying that they were all gnomes. The war soon ended, but before it did, they had carved all kinds of fruit and vegetables from dozens of boulders and a couple of rocks, all well mounted too. And that is how our noble society was born. Are you all going to join my army? It's kind of a bit weird, yeah? Of course not. We didn't come here to march around in neat little rows like all crusaders who've come to help you. We're here to answer the call of our hearts. We're going to help you in every way we can. We will all do something for our cause, but we are free spirits. We take orders from no one, and we certainly do not join in other people's war games. Army discipline and gray walls of Dresden do not stir our hearts. Lady Victoria, yeah, I know that you are the wind of change we've been waiting for. In Canterbury, I witnessed your kindness, bravery, and tenacity. I'll follow you straight into hellfire. All of us will, but each will tread our own path. Now what am I going to do with you? I know what you need to do. Knight them, Aviva whispers loudly. She continues a little embarrassed as Arachna and the others look at her eyes. I mean, I've been told many stories of Glarian, and that's what always happens in them. Lady Victoria is the knight commander, right? That means she can knight you all. Ordinary knights are boring, but I know Lady Victoria will make your oath really exciting. I like the sound of that. We'll be free crusaders. What do you think, Lady Victoria? Just make up an oath for us to send, and then we'll start our campaign. first diplomacy check I have failed. And there we go. It's beautiful. Oh, wow. What was that? Where did it come from? I bet a jar of strawberry jam came straight from Elysium. I mean, I don't have any strawberry jam, but still. Big grown family can transfer their environments like this, but how did you do it? We've seen something like this happen before. Lady Victoria was back in Canabras. In the temple, we all gathered together. A glowing aurora enveloped you, and we heard music that wasn't actually there. Just the same as this time. A wondrous power dwells within you, and it's growing. My power manifests itself spontaneously. I don't know why it happens. Well, we'll try to figure out, all of us. I'll need Mistress Ola's help. Or Mistress Ola's help. Wow, that's really hard. And the others too. We'll set up camp right here on the ledge and monitor any new changes. There's not much to analyze yet. I've only witnessed 2 cases where something unusual happened around you. Both cases were spontaneous, and both times you were surrounded by people who had been helped and inspired by you. The first time it happened, you saw a vision. But now a fragment of that vision has been brought to life. Who knows, Lady Victoria? Maybe you'll be able to heal the entire world wound, just like you healed this little patch of rock. Everyone says I've been blessed by the gods. Yes, but I'm almost certain this isn't the work of Amodia, or at least not hers alone. Your power. It's like a song of freedom, of lush wilderness, and of the deepest longings of the heart of Elysium. The warriors of heaven are too proud to possess or grant such a power. This type of power is brought into the world by Azats, the children of freedom and the deities of their plane, of whom Desna, our guiding star, is one. What are you going to do now? We'll set up camp here. Our learned friend will observe this garden of Elysium and study. The artists among us will start working on their art. I'll help the halflings prepare to launch raids against the demons. The cavalry sculptors, I have no idea what they'll do, but I hope they'll keep themselves busy somehow. Drop by in a couple weeks, will you? We'll have settled in by then, and we may even have something else to show you, but it's a secret for now. Forgot the most important part, honestly. What would you all do without a smart little dragon like Miran? Aztecs have courts. The Court of Silent Laughter, for example, or the Court of the Flaming Storm. They always have such pretty names. People come to their courts freely, and they stay because they like it there. They have some affinity. That's why Lady Victoria has to give this place a name. It's her court, after all. No. I don't like that.
That's easy.
I wanted to change the name, but I couldn't. Oh well, it's the Commander's Court then. Fuck you, game. So I think that's the problem with it being on console. It's a bit hard to do stuff like that. I haven't even fucking figured out how to stealth on console. No, I don't want to change my group. Alright. Honestly, what I need to do is, I need you to come here. Information. We have it does not look like we have enough. Yeah, we need 4,000. Does the master maneuver that sort? Yeah. So our next general will be in here, honestly. It will be you. It will be this person probably. Or somebody like this. We won't recruit somebody until we have basically master of maneuver. Because working with somebody like this who has almost no armies is practically worthless. All ranged units have a +2 bonus per level. And this guy has me a bit worried. I need to build up in this army a bit more. Hopefully this is enough. I kind of thought this guy would move. I think she's possessed by something evil. Or is being hunted by something evil. I'm surprised this thing didn't. These guys didn't run away. That's kind of what I was expecting. That's why I just kind of charged them. Oh boy. That's also why you'll see me save a couple of times just to take a look, because the way this game kind of functions, it's really hard to tell. This is a level 5 fortress, but it's incredibly fucking hard. What can I recruit? Recruit some shield bearers. taken out a bit, quite a bit from here. So I'm gonna try this. This guy. As intended. I don't want to waste time. So we'll save. Very important not to waste time. The reason we saved is because this fight's so fucking annoying. I don't know if we're ready for it. And again, this is all just up to how fucked up the balancing in this game is. For some of these things, it seems. Perfect, we got all our men back. Alright, I shall be right back. Alright, I have returned. Oh, it's just... Okay, nobody important. It's weird army, just to have that one particular army right there. How much money do we have? We don't have a whole lot, so we're not gonna do anything yet. There you go. Got plus 30. Oh, decrees. Right. One can command a small units alone, but to manage an army, one needs a staff council surrounded by experienced advisors. The commander will be able to make dedicated decisions affecting the life and morale of the entire army. 5 days, a day. I'm going to go back to mine. I'm going to go travel, and then we'll rest in the capital. Alright, so we've got a lot of things to do here. Alright. So, let's start doing our rounds on this, okay? It's gonna be a while, but to the headquarters. You got a lot of stuff to do, so. Alright, this is what the drunk Khalid in a well-worn travel robe with a deep hood offers you respectful. His voice is quiet and emotionless. Greetings, Commander. To be granted an audience with a figure of such importance is a great honor. Your victories have impressed and inspired me, which is why I wish to do my part in the Crusaders. Who are you? My name is Velag, and I am Khalid. My lineage dates back to the Sakorian clans, and bonds of kinship have always been sacred to my family. When the world was opened, my ancestors fled Sarkros, but they did not forget their homeland. Even before the Crusades began, my great-great-grandfather marched in defense of our people. He perished as they all. My great-great-grandfather and his eldest son joined the First Crusade. My grandfather joined the Second. Our family's warriors have fought in every crusade, and that is why our bloodline is now extinct. They say this crusade will be the last, and so I come, alone, where there is no one else. Alas, I am no warrior, but I still wish to be of use to you. How do you plan to help me? For 20 years, I have been gathering documents on Socrates. They contain numerous mentions of the history of the Blackwater clan, the clan that was beset by demons, as its members had dedicated themselves to creating a powerful weapon against the void. The clan needed more time, but no support came from their neighbors, and so the Blackwaters were destroyed. But the fate of the clan is not important right now. What is important is that thanks to certain ancient maps, I have been able to pinpoint the location of their settlement. If you go there, you'll be able to verify my findings, and if you happen to find a weapon that will help you fight the demons, it will bring me satisfaction and pride. My life will have purpose. What kind of weapons were the Blackwater clan? My thoughts on this matter are pure speculation. Perhaps it was a blade that could cut down even a demon lord, or an artifact that could call upon an endless host of spirits, or a circlet that could reverse the flow of time or erase the planar invaders from reality. Blackwater clan operated in secrecy to protect their work from the spies. Fortunately, an ever-present concern, and to avoid drawing demons' attention before time. You have an odd way of speaking. I am a scholar. I know how to speak through manuscripts and prefer to express my thoughts using my quill instead of my tongue. Social interactions is not my area of expertise. So I ask for your understanding when it comes to my rather rudimentary communication skills. Thank you. I'll put this information to good use. It pleases me to be of use to you. Dear Sons, you're just in time. I took the liberty of looking after your well-being and have prepared everything you need for a relaxing bathing, for pleasure is most therapeutic indeed, and is essential for healing, rest, and sound. What's that sweet smell? Herbs. Herbs from mountain meadows. I know many professionals prefer to add scented oils, roses, or foam to a bath, but I choose herbs. They are simply superior. They inspire thoughts of freedom. Thank you for this. It's very thoughtful. Oh, believe me, you believe I'm being thoughtful? What if I'm merely dropping a very heavy hint that you desperately need to wash? Last I checked, we are living in a vile and cruel world where warmth and sincerity cannot be expected from any quarter, and yet here you are making rash assumptions about my motivations. Anyways, it is time for me to go. I shall leave you alone in this festive bliss. A rather dreadful turn of phrase, I admit, but what else am I to call this bath in the middle of a grim stone forest? Thank you. I will make the most of your gift. Have a nice soak. You deserve it. With a slight bow, Darren leaves. Ah, yes. That walking animation. Ah, Commander, how is our crusade going? Our crusade? You weren't exactly thrilled to join the Crusaders. Of course I wasn't thrilled, but in unfavorable circumstances, a man cannot allow himself to wallow in gloom and despondency. What a man can do is look on the bright side of the whole situation and change his circumstances as much as possible. I, for instance, am certain we'll be able to throw a rip-roaring party even in the crater of an erupting volcano, with my hands tied behind my back. So what brings you to me? Oh, it's just a trifling thing. I wish to make a donation to the Crusade cause. It seemed a smart decision to me because what's good for the Crusade is now tightly intertwined with what's good for yours truly. I did have to give the revenue from my estate a good shake-up and send a few couriers scurrying, but in the end I managed to acquire a couple of decent items. All in all, here's my donation to the Crusade and its commanders. You must try to use them out for yourself. I offer these gifts from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. These will come in handy. Excellent. I was happy to contribute. Good day to you, Commander. By the way, take a closer look at them. You may find something special in there. So that's what you look like, troublemaker. The whole plane of Elysium seems to be talking about you. Your power resounds through space like a bell. I hurried to the call so I could advise you and help you avoid any missteps. Boring, yawns Aviva. Wisdom is often tiresome. A mortal cannot be expected to wield supernatural powers without guidance. So, you would do well to take advice from an actual supernatural being. Lady Victoria, you may call me Early Sunset. I hope to become your most trusted advisor in all matters, great or small. So you're a real Azata, then. You came from Elysium. Not precisely. The news of you and your particular abilities reached me while I was traveling between planes, so I have not come directly from Elysium. However, I can tell you quite a lot if you'd like it. How exactly can you help me? I will monitor your abilities, observing how they develop. You have probably discovered by now that they're somewhat chaotic and prone to spontaneous manifestation without your deliberate will. It's not surprising. Zatas and other supernatural beings are created with a power already a part of them, yet you received yours as a sudden gift. That gift may be inconvenient and even dangerous for its wielder. I will try to learn more about it and teach you how to control it over time. A mentor is essential for such an undertaking. If you really are a good mentor, then you should teach the fun stuff. You know, pretty pictures on berry jelly with whipped cream. Not this boring stuff. Aviva, don't ever change. Do you know anything about my power? Everything seems to you are some powers of the mighty. Mortals possess many gifts in sorcery, but your abilities are on a level entirely. They abide by different rules, if there are any rules at all to speak of. If this is the will of one of the gods of Elysium, I'd like to be the first to discover their intentions. That said, it may well be a careless folly long forgotten by its author, and not a deliberate design. In that case, you will need my help and advice all the more. To meet you, Early Sunset. The pleasure is mine. I'll take up no more time. If you wish to talk, I'll be nearby. It will take me some time and observation of you to ascertain how exactly your power manifests itself, and how you must wield it to stop it spiraling out of control. Once I have something useful for you, I will inform you without delay. Thanks, my dude. Commander, I have alarming news. Sir Kiara seems to be ill. He has stepped back almost completely from commanding his people. His ever-bright crusaders are a large and experienced force, for our strategy relies heavily on them. Please talk to him. It might be time for Sir Ciara to step down and hand over leadership to a younger, more energetic knight. He's not a young man anymore. It must be a struggle to keep up with his responsibility. What do you know about Sir Ciara's troubles? Just rumors, Commander. They say it's like his mind is somewhere else. All the time. He is anxious, but won't say what happened. He is respected. When people see him acting strangely, it breeds uncertainty in the ranks. I will talk to him. Thank you, Commander. This is as a necessary step to maintain our fighting ability. Hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Grandandi stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthly tone, and crystals sparkle forth from where his hair and eyebrows should be. He clearly identifying him as an Ored. Captain Harmerton, chair of your staff, staff council by order of Her Majesty Queen Gallifrey, here to deliver a report. I'm on this council too. We'll be raking our brains on how to support troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. Drawing on my experience as Parlictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. I'm doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? That you are doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, there's an incredible novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All these things can be easily bought with money. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined the Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with the victory, and they are not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabras wish to return home, rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates, raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave the army that appreciate them. I feel for those folks, but we must convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. Tell the soldiers that the danger has not yet passed, inspire them to keep up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigator, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment to make an example of them. This problem is quite simply solved by coin. By handing out money to the privates, it's practically throwing it away. To pay the officers handsomely, and then figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. We'll go with this guy. He's actually brings up a good point. At once, I'll distribute the pay rations right away. The commendation list won't take long either. We should see results shortly. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. Isn't this like everything, you wanted, Abby? Just a reading simulator of my horrendous voice. You see a Khalid, around 50 years old, dressed in a doublet that looks older than its owner. Once it may have been expensive, but now it is worn and patched. A scabrous sword hangs on his belt, covered in such a thick layer of rust that it looks more like a club. His flushed, swollen face, spongy nose, and dark circles beneath his eyes suggest that he is a heavy drinker. When he opens his mouth to speak, your suspicion is confirmed by the stench of stale alcohol on his breath. So you're the commander, huh? It's a cozy little place you got here. All these walls, polished, furniture, solid, commendable. I think I'll give you a medal for this. A medal? You're too kind. Don't mention it. I'm a generous soul, but I'm also fair. I dish out medals and I punish as I please. Who am I? Not just your average citizen. You will be pleased to know that I am Thurbrand, rightful heir to the throne of Iz and all of Socorus. Everyone knows that no king has ever ruled over Socorus, and there is no throne in Iz. How would you know? Have you been to Iz? Have you seen it with your own proper eyes? You haven't. And if you haven't, maybe there was one. My pops used to tell me about the throne in the palace. It was gold all over, and it was encrusted with all manner of crusty things like damanatas and fire ants, rubies and bows. Couldn't take your eyes off it. And that's what kind of throne it was. And it's all mine by birthright. Can you prove your claim to the throne? Of course. We're not just some swindlers. We have all the evidence. Here, look. He takes the rusty sword from his belt and shows you the hilt. Which features a nearly worn-off golden crest. The grinning animal it depicts most closely resembles a shabby possum. Here, the royal smilodon and the ancient symbol of the rulers of Sarkos. I also got a wart on my chest in the shape of a crown. Of course, I'm the heir to the throne. For those who don't believe me, well, they can get lost. That's what I say. Let them go to Pluros Falls, where all the kings of Socorus were. There, my entire family tree has been written in stone. Go and read it for yourself. What's there? Are you deaf? You should drink a pine needle infusion. It'll do wonders for your ears and eyes too. I'm telling you. All the dead Sokoran kings are in the ground there. The mausoleums, tumbulas, and those, whatchamacallits, obelisks, that's right. And it's written there about my ancestors and about me too. Just go look. Everything will make sense. By every law of the land, I'm king. What do you think you're entitled to? We are simple people. We don't need much. I mean, no, that's not what I meant. We aren't simple people. Not simple at all. We need a great deal of a king's palace, a throne, lands, all that can wait until you take back Isa and make all the demons leave. As for now, I wouldn't mind having a king's residence here and a place to sleep and some hot food. That'll be a start. Be a start. I see. Soldiers, throw this imposter out of here. Hey, why? How could you? A sub-commander you are. Was that really everything? Okay, so they didn't say anything. I have to go.
Precisely.
Is that everything that I needed to do? I don't think that was everything I needed to do. For some reason, I think there's plenty of more that I need to do. Alright, we're gonna do this one. How do I make the decision? It says make a decision, but I can't actually make the decision.
Always watch your back.
Happy to be since may shine, brighten, and vivify your day. Beth, have you made this golem an officer, or is it just standing here? There's a reason. It's standing in plain view. If anyone tries to steal it, I'll see them. I may not be thrilled about having to drag this fortune around with us, but it is my duty to protect the treasury, and this fortress is the safest place in the area. Happy to be of service. May Shaylin brighten and vivify your day. Okay, so he can just place illusions on it. So if I want my gear to look like something else, so let's say we don't want this, but we want to make it look this. Oh, then I could. don't
I
really
do
care
things
for that at the
my
moment, though.
way.
So, I'm a bit annoyed at the prospect of like, oh hey, go and try to do this thing, but I clearly can't, so
Careful now.
I don't know why it's telling me to go and do the thing. Or also it's like, talk to Nura. I don't know where the fuck the dungeons are.
All the paladins I'd met before behaved very piously. They abhorred frivolity of any kind. You're not like that at all. You're not afraid to be yourself.
The paladins you're talking about? They were easy to break, right? It's easy to break someone who's running from themselves.
Damn.
That's easy.
Excuse me, it's the middle of the night. What are you doing? Or I assume it's night, everything's dark.
Precisely.
Oh, there you go, that's how to get to the night gamblers.
Hesitation is a waste of time.
Thank you.
Always watch your back. I will not be trifled with.
Okay.
I always have the upper hand.
Okay, I think it's what I need to do. So. I like that. The banner does in fact change.
Careful now. That's easy.
I don't know where this guy is, unfortunately. But I did in fact choose the right place, so there's that.
Precisely.
Talk to him. Yes, something has happened. Where did your boy Morve go? He ran away, packed his things in the dead of night and disappeared. Must have gone to find some demons to fight. He is a Khalid. His entire clan are blood enemies of demons. They also worship the god Gorum. Did you see the straw wolf hanging around his neck? It's their clan talisman. It's called the Little Fang. I put in so much effort to get him to see the light of Amodia, but he imbibed his loyalty to Gorum with his mother's milk. I told him, you can't fight the darkness if you are guided by anger. If rage overwhelms you, you can't. You will either perish or become a villain, or get so used to war that you'll forget what it's like to live as a human. But he only had one thing on his mind: vengeance for his family, for his ancestor, for his wounded honor. I tried to find him. They say he's going to the tavern a lot recently. ever bright crusaders don't go to taverns. We keep ourselves clean, body and spirit. But Morveg didn't go there to drink or play dice. He was looking for a guide. He found one, a Khalid, too. An old one, descendant of the Sarkrans. Even the demons couldn't force them out of these lands. They say Morgoth wanted to go toward Winter Sun, an ancient Sarkanian settlement. But I don't know what he wanted there or where exactly to look for him. There are a lot of demons in that region. We can't send scouts there with an order to leave no stone unturned. There will be too many skirmishes with monsters and huge losses. I have to go. Of course, Commander, you have a lot to do. May Amodia help you. Okay, dude, I'm supposed to find your man. Find your dude.
Always watch your back.
Where are these? The names of people lost on the wall. Okay. And there's Lady Kimone. Shh. Motherfucker. Take me to Sassel. Okay. So he's still not. For this one so far. Doesn't seem like there's really any timed quests. Which is good. Because I hate timed quests. My dragon better be with me in this. Someone is on the road. I like how my horse is now stronger. Boy.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
I will resist!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Begone, fiend!
Cover me!
Prepare yourself!
You won't survive me.
Into the fray!
Aparane sentes. Stab their backs.
Desna, guide my hand!
Endure this! Fall!
No glory without risk!
Aparane sentes. I'll loot your corpse. Surrender or else!
Good job, Ember. Didn't expect you to hit that.
Make your peace.
That's easy.
Interesting. I didn't know that happened.
Stay on your toes. Precisely. I do things my way. Always watch your back.
I suppose I should take a look at that bow that I got as well. Really, if I could find a holy bow, holy composite longbow, that'd be great, but keen composite longbow, short bow of code, and just a regular composite longbow. And just a regular composite longbow. So yeah. Honestly, we can start selling those bows as well.
I'm trusting you.
Everything has a
Can't
price.
hide from me.
Hesitation is a waste of time.
Uh-huh.
The struggles never cease. I finished here. Is there more? I sense something. I'm glad I was useful to you. I will follow my dream. I finished here. Is there more? I finished here. Is there more? I can do this.
I always have the upper hand.
That's a lot of corruption to take. Jeez Louise, Ember, no need to be depressing. So how'd you sleep? What's that you're hiding? There's nothing you want to tell me as a friend? As a friend, well, to be honest, I didn't even want my friends to know about this, you especially, but there's no point in hiding it now that you've seen it. It's a book of folk tales, the folk tales of Galarian, recorded by some gnome who, unlike me, wasn't terrible at reading and writing. Don't think I'm some illiterate cave monster. I'm a literate cave monster. I even went to school when my family lived on the surface, but that was a long time ago. Once we moved back to the caves, I practiced my survival skills more than my reading and writing skills, so I'm a little rusty. I can read words and individual sentences, but when I see a whole page of text, my mind goes blank. It's embarrassing to be like this when I'm surrounded by all these educated people, so I'm trying to work on my skills on the sly. I even asked the seller if he could get me a book with big letters. This was the only one he got, and it's for kids. I didn't want you to see me struggling to read. Read stories for 5-year-olds. I thought I'd die of shame if you knew, but for some reason, I haven't died yet. So, are you laughing at me? You could read aloud. Keep getting to these awkward decisions in front of them. It's like the gods enjoy watching me suffer. Brace yourself for the longest fairy tale in your entire life, because I'm planning to take full advantage of your attention. Alright, enough. Alright, we're not actually going to do that. And they lived happily ever after at the end. That was incredible. Whenever I tried to read on my own, all I do is berate myself for mistakes. But with you, it's like I let go of all those worries. Thank you. You know, this is why people are drawn to you. People can be themselves when they're with you. There's no way I'm the one who feels like this around you. Well, yeah, but that's because I'm cool. And there's the glitch again. Or glitch, bug, I don't know.
Careful now.
Hail Baphomet. Okay, I'm not reading on that. Well, Drift, what the fuck are you doing? That's right. Fear me. Fear me. Look at how I am in my horse.
That's easy.
Wait, seriously?
Precisely.
Easy now, we're all friends. This is just we're all friends here. This was just a little misunderstanding. You thought you'd come across Crusaders, but they're big fans of our Lord Baphomet too. Ain't that right? Nod wordlessly. Right, exactly. Pilgrims of the World Wound. Meet the finest member of our big family. Hey there, Chief. Long time no see. Why don't we hold off on the sacrifice for now? We need to drink to this happy meeting. Am I right? Yeah, let's do that. Tie that one on the altar up again. We'll get around to slaughtering it later. Playing some kind of a game? Yes. How come nobody told me the rules? Yeah, it is a game. A game of the great forces led by our Lord Bahamut, and you are a worthy player in that game. You evil spawn of the abyss. I get it. Wait, let me think. I'm right. My evil comrade. I will help you sow horrific horror and strike fear into the hearts of mortals. The world has never seen a creature like me before and knows what I'm capable. The little dragon is practically bouncing with enthusiasm. If the crescent of the abyss says so. Make yourselves at home in a temporary camp of the pilgrims of the world wound. But why did you attack our brothers? Well, technically I didn't attack them. They attacked me. If you will, will you tell them why we attacked our brothers? They stole our sweets. The real reason is why suspect it was, because the chief sometimes has these fits of insanity in the battle of rage. It is a blessing from Lord Baphomet. The chief goes crazy. She goes crazy and gets twice as strong as normal. But if the blessing kicks in at the wrong moment, well, that's just bad luck for you. I've had to get away from the crazed chief a few times, so I know what I'm talking about. It is good that the crescent of the moon, our beacon in the darkness, and our oracle has resolved this misunderstanding. Relax, friends, and after all, if you wish, you may join our pilgrimage.
Always watch your back.
Can I talk to this guy? You're not one of them. Only idiots who are desperate to believe anything they hear would fall for Woljif's lie. Who are you? Dival Guernon, nobleman, crusader, livestock waiting to be slaughtered. How did you end up here? Solely through my own foolishness, because of my inability to fight like a man. I thought the crusade was the best way to make my mark on history. I dreamt of glory, of the respect that would be otherwise denied me as the third son of a noble family. When the officer laughed at my skills and called me an ignorant interloper, how right he was. Fate has twisted sense of humor. My more experienced comrades died in this cursed place, one after another, but I survived. Only 5 of us left in the end. Our hubris was gone, we were jumping at every shadow, and we still weren't cautious enough. I was the only one who survived after we were attacked in the night. Should have realized what was happening when the lookout went missing. Did Woljif order that you to be sacrificed? Woljif, oh no. In my better days, I wouldn't have let a tiefling like him set foot in my house. I wouldn't have guessed at the wonders of generosity he was capable of. But fate has led us here, and I'm glad to have him as a companion. I despised him. I realized he was just as a guy. Would be better than the waiting. I want to free you. Thank you, but that is impossible while the pilgrims of the world are here. They will not just stand by while I escape. I won't disturb you any further. Thank you. If you happen to meet my parents or members of the Gwenvier family, tell them that I died in the wound, praising Imodia. Woljif. Phew, I thought I was done for. Could feel it in my tail that they were gonna kill me. If you ain't a sight for sore eyes, Chief. When I heard that the gargoyles hadn't got you and that you were running the show up at Dresden now, I couldn't tell you how happy that made me. But that night it all happened, I tell you. I was so scared I couldn't see straight. I wandered around, wondering if my chief and the rest of the gang were lying in an open field with their eyes pecked out. Woljif sighs. Even my conscience prickled a little, thinking about how I ran. But when you look at it from my side, what else was I supposed to do? I just want to make sure. Still going. And then these pilgrims of the world tell me that Dresden has been reclaimed and that there's a new commander called Lady Victoria. Well, I said to myself, there can't be 2 demon-slaying dynamos with that name. It must be you. So I cut my way through the circles around Dresden, and I waited for you to come out. At one point, I got so desperate, I almost went right up to the city walls, but I thought better of it. Although an arrow in the skull would be a sight better than running in fear of Votil. You know Votil? I don't either, but I remember the name because of what Brother Melroy yelled in the basement that time. I'm going to tell S. Dreamer and Botil or something like it. Anyway, my shadow told me Botil is that demon, and I should be scared of him because he's after the moon of the abyss. But the shadow's a whole other story. But if you want to know why I haven't just come to Dresden, I need your help. It's a matter of life or death. Slow down. You're not making any sense. What's going on here? Okay, I'll shut up. I mean, I won't shut up, but ask me what you want to know, and I'll tell you. What was that? That was my cunning plan. Pretending to be a cultist of Baphomet. Good thinking. But why did you ask me to do it? You've got the crux of it. Chief, we have a secret mission here. To save the life of a good man. In other words, me. Well, not just me. But I'll definitely die, too, if these cultists see something they don't like. And I'll be on the altar next to the poor sap before you can say, Hail Baphomet. Why did you run that night? The night we fought the gargoyles. Run, me? I fought them. I did. You should have seen me. I got one on the nose, sent it arse over Tico, and it flew off. I've gotten into scrapes a fair few times before. Been caught by surprise in the dead of night more times than I can count. That's why I kept up quick as anything. Grabbed my knives and, well, of course I made a run for it. What else was I gonna do? I'm just a thief, a city boy. I don't go toe-to-toe with demons. Sure, I said I'd help you and all, but that was before. Didn't sign up for a nighttime gargoyle attack. What kind of idiot attacks in the middle of the night? I thought a war would keep more civilized hours, to be honest. Wrong again. So apologies, Chief. But I always end up on the winning side. Just my nature. You and your lot in the camp that night did not have the look of victory about you. It's not like I'd have been much help if the gargoyle snatched me in its claws. Of course I decided to run. It's your relationship with the Baphomet cult. It's complicated. It's a story of unrequited love. Really, they love me, and all I think about is how to get away from them and save my own skin. Well, you seem to have a nice little setup here. Maybe I should just leave you here with your underlings. To tell the truth, I can't cool my heels here for much longer, Chief. I would have run from the family and kept running for a long time, but don't run from Voltaire. He's a demon. If you don't find me first, they'll sell me out as soon as they get sick of me. I can feel it in my tail, or else I'll end up on that altar. I know you're the chief. I know you, Chief. You're the type of warrior that all of Mendev should be praying for. When I was in camp, all I heard was, Chief this, Chief that. There's no better chief than ours. If you need to sort the demons out, call the chief. That's what people were saying. I swear, I heard it with my own ears. So will you help me? Said some shadow's been talking to you? Is that right? Not just any shadow. My shadow. My special shadow. After I spent a while running around the whirlwind, scared out of my wits, it suddenly crept out and whispered in the distance. Votil North. Fear Votil. And the name was familiar, because that's what Brother Melron yelled out, and I put two and two together. This Votil was in the north, and I needed to make sure he didn't find me. Bit by bit, I got the shadow to tell me about that Votil was a demon, and he was looking for the moon of the abyss. Who knows why? By the way, I have a couple of thoughts of my own about the moons. I'll tell you about them once we're out of this mess. Remind me why I should just kill all these cultists here now? Because they will still be useful to us if you decide to help me. And thanks for not trying to kill him as soon as he got here. By the way, their leader is a nervous sort, and he would have definitely stabbed the lad on the altar if he caused a fuss. They think if they perform all these sacrifices, Baphomet's going to appear and hand out powerful spells like candy. What do you want from me? In a nutshell, I've got a bit of a situation here. One wrong move, and I'm a gunner. The demon is in the vicinity somewhere. A good man has suffered. The cultists are animals. I just want to get out of this and make Votil back off. But without you, I have no chance. Help me. I won't forget it as long as I live. Who is he? Okay, yeah, we already said that. What part of the cult is planning your plans? Do you know why they call themselves Pilgrims of the Worldland? Because they're itching to meet the big name demons like Baphomet. It's like they're on a pilgrimage. So that got me thinking, since they listen to me, we can lead them to Votil and mess with their heads a bit. Say that Baphomet's been calling him nasty names and let the cultists fight Votil for us. It'll be right. Cultists helping us take out a demon? Well, what do you think? What good man are you talking about? Me, of course. I'm a prisoner here, you know. I suppose the other fellow, Devil, the one that's tied up, kind of owe him one. I made a dumb mistake and now he's paying for it. Now, don't get me wrong, I couldn't care less about the guy. Got himself into this mess, except if it wasn't for me, then maybe wouldn't have caught him in the first place. These pilgrims kept asking me, will we have to wait long for favors from Baphomet? I thought, I just have my shadow. I should not, and as though, just because I have my shadow, I should know. What am I, some kind of demon whisperer? I just put on a kind of knowing air and said to him, do as you have been doing, and the favors will come. They took to that to mean that they needed to keep cutting people up on the altar. Tried to put them off the idea, but they wouldn't listen. Acted like I was discussing things with my shadows. I kept trying to hold them off, saying that the stars weren't in alignment, that raining eyeballs was a bad omen. I'd run out of ideas. Just before you showed up, Chief, I was already considering just letting him go. He was a crusader, after all. You know, demons would probably get him in the end. Either way, it's not my fault that's how they do things. It was either him or me. There's no one way to get both of us, but I can't manage. There is one way to get both of us out, but I can't manage it on my own. I need your help. All right, I'll help you deal with the demon. I always knew you were the sort, or a special sort, Chief. Let's go break his horns off. Ugh. I'll show you. Nothing interesting about the place at all, but that's where I was when my shadow came out and started pushing me back the other way. It said Votil would find me easily there, that he'd swoop in, tear me limb from limb as soon as I popped up. I wasn't long turning away from that place, I tell you. There's just one other thing. We need to round up my lackeys and send them off on an errand. While they're gone, we can feed the prisoner. No point in leaving them to get bored stiff, right? Listen up, brothers and sisters. The shadow has spoken. It says a demon will come to a secret place, a wasteland where almost no trees left next to the bend of the river. We once passed by there. We took a wrong turn and didn't find it. Glorious day. Before we set off, I say we make the sacrifice. I say let's hold off on the sacrifice. Time's wasting and demons are busy, you know. Leave your things go. I must meditate before such an event. And when I'm all meditated out, I'll come and summon the demon to you. I feel like this is a terrible idea. But, I mean, hey, at least they fucked off and left. Commander, a moment of your time. At last the day has come when those odious faces will no longer be looming over me. The cultists hid my weapons and armor somewhere. I'll find them and then take my leave of this place forever. Go over there with the rest of the stolen stuff. I made sure they didn't go walkies in the night. I hope you'd make it out of this somehow. Thanks to your efforts, Woodruff. Go. Time is of the essence. If there is a demon hunting you, better lure him into a trap and strike first. What are you planning to do now? Find my armor's weapons. Find something to eat. Then leave this place as quickly as possible. Perhaps I will die in the wound, but I will die with a sword in my hand, not like an animal at a slaughterhouse. If I do make it out, I shall build a temple of Amodia's honor in my hometown. You're rich enough to build a temple if you fancy it. You're complaining your parents don't give you enough money. I think we have a slight different conception of what counts as enough money. In any case, money is no longer considered mine. My life and my legacy belong to the goddess who sent you and the commander to my aid. Alright then, farewell and good luck. May Omodia keep you. I don't want to get rid of you, Ember, but I suppose I should.
Stay on your toes.
Just for now.
Careful now. That's easy.
Wow, worthless.
Precisely.
Might be trap,
I
might be
will not
treasure.
Trifled with.
Okay, that's a bit better. So since I need him for that, I have a feeling this is going to go very
Everything
poorly,
has a
by the way.
price.
Who, me?
Don't get too used to being in the party, Woodruff. Skill focus, spell focus.
Something wrong? Don't mind me. nicely. I'm here. Where else would I be? Who? Me? Fine.
I do things my way. Hesitation is a waste of time. Always watch your back.
I'm waiting for Ember's story to proc. I don't foresee Shala's quest popping anytime soon. I swear. You know, honestly, since I don't really need you. Alright, I shall be right back. have returned. Go to the green gates. Here we are. The hack should be around here somewhere. She catches your eyes, and a blush unexpectedly blooms on her face. Quietly, in a near whisper, she adds, "Thank you for bringing me with you. This is important to me. Very important. Beware. You are dealing with a creature that is very old, very devious, and very dangerous. She may not be a demon, but she can move like one. If you hesitate, she will slip from your grasp before you even know it. Fortunately, there is a relic of Desna in this very fortress, the Bell of Mercy. It will help you catch the hag, like a cat in a mousetrap. No, wait. You don't say that, do you? Like a mouse in a cat trap? Never mind. What matters is that you must catch her. The right way to say it is mouse in a mousetrap. Yep. But I can see how you got confused. All those boring words. I get them mixed up all the time, too. What if everybody said, catch a bee in a bear trap? Or maybe a moose in a fox trap? Or a manticore in a unicorn trap? A hedgehog? No. I don't want to catch a hedgehog. They're too prickly. Then how about a rabbit in a goat trap? Oh, a shibu. Aha. What can you tell me about this hag? Did you know that there are different kinds of hags? Janarika is one of the most terrifying types, an anise hag. This flesh eater possesses frightening, evil magic powers. She's not a demon, but she is far more cunning than many inhabitants of the abyss. Don't listen to her rigmarole, and don't believe her evasions. Just grab her, put a knife to her throat, and demand a straight answer. And don't forget, like demons, she can travel huge distances using magic, but the sound of the bell will stop her from slipping away. How will this bell help us? It's an ancient relic of Desna. The Crusaders brought it here when there was still hope that Sarkros could be retaken easily. The world wound expanded and the Crusaders were forced to retreat, leaving the bell behind. I'll be right back. I need to grab control of my charger. Demons tried to corrupt it or destroy it, but they couldn't. The bell burned them when they touched it. They managed to rip the bell's clappers from it, but they didn't take it far. Look for it. It should be around here somewhere. Desna imbued the bell with a special, powerful protective magic. If you strike it, all demons and their ilk inside the fortress will be unable to move. If the hag cannot move, she will not be able to evade you. There is a holy relic here. We are honor-bound to return it. It's not a question of military strategy. It's a question of faith. How did you know the hag would be here? We know each other of old. Actually, that's not quite true. We have never met in person, but I have been tracking her for quite some time. She shows up here and there, but every time I try to pin her down, she vanishes. I hope this time she won't slip away so easily. Ursula seems agitated, and you detect a tremor in her voice. It seems hunting this hag means an awful lot to her, but you have a seeking suspicion that the succubus has not told you the full story. I understand. Let's do this. It does not aid us.
Can't hide from me.
Oh wow, crap already. Alright.
Please, allow me. Each step is a new journey. I'm glad I was useful to you.
Stay on your toes.
So this could go really bad or really good. I don't know which it is. Oh, actually, I want to go to you, so spellbook. Yes, here we go. Okay, spell resistance. Pillar of Life. Honestly, that's gonna be great. Unholy Blight. Yeah, we don't want that, really. I feel like that's not very useful. That might be. That might be. I guess that would be. Where is it? This is what I'm really looking for. More dispel magic. Never too much dispel magic.
Let me help.
I always have the upper hand. They dare threaten me.
What the fuck?
I will resist.
Make every strike count.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Your death awaits.
I will bring down the divine wrath.
Prepare yourself!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The light, take you!
Cover me!
Eternal Rose, I call upon you! This is not my time yet.
Stay on your toes. I will not be trifled with.
I'm prepared. I'm trusting you. I sense something. I finished here. Is there more? I will follow my dream. Please, allow me. I can do this. Each step is a new journey. I need to find my dream.